Giancarlo and I were both doing our undergrad in biochemistry at U of T. We had a class together at Con Hall, but we never met because he was always sitting at the back of the class.
Cheryl always sat at the front because she's a keener.
I was a good student. Giancarlo was going out of town for the weekend, and he came to class with all his luggage. I guess he didn't like carrying them very much, because he ended up sitting at the front of the class with all the keeners.
I was hoping no one would notice me. I didn't want people to get the wrong impression.
Unfortunately for him, I was hanging out with a friend we both knew after class who spotted him. I noticed that he had a mini disc player. I asked him how it felt to own a piece of dying technology. He was convinced that mini discs were not dying.
They haven't. I was listening to my mini disc just the other day.
I didn't think he was very smart.
Thanks.
Well, he used a lot of really weird slang that I didn't understand. Plus, he had frosted tips in his hair.
What? Frosted tips were fashionable.
Frosted tips were never fashionable. That weekend, I was on a U of T forum for science majors. This was before Facebook's time, so this was how we used to social network. I was browsing through the post when I noticed someone had made a thread asking them for a name of a girl he had just met.
I forgot her name. But what better way to get her attention than to publicize it on a forum for all the science undergrads to see?
Everyone knew it was me! Oh, I was so embarrassed. I'd message him just to tell him to take it down.
I told her I would only take it down if she gave me her number.
I gave him my email instead.
Winning.
We were chatting online a lot with each other. Giancarlo was a lot smarter than I had thought, plus he was charming. So I gave it a shot, and we agreed to meet for coffee at a Second Cup, on College Street. When I got there, he was nowhere to be found. I even tried calling him, but no one picked up.
That's funny, because when I got to the Second Cup on Spadina, Cheryl wasn't there either. I also left my phone at home, so I couldn't pick up her calls. And I couldn't call her, because I didn't know her number off by heart yet.
Do you see why I didn't think he was very smart?
I called my nonno. That's grandfather for you non-Italians. I called my nonno from a payphone to ask him to go to my house, get my phone, and go through the phone book to find her number. That's right, I called my technologically illiterate nonno to walk 20 minutes to my house and go through my phone to find Cheryl's number for me. Yep, that happened.
Yeah, that actually happened. I mean, I don't think Giancarlo was smart enough to make up such a good story. He bombed pretty badly, but it was really funny and endearing to me. From that point on, we did almost everything together. We cooked each other dinner, studied together, marathoned a lot of movies, and looked for hidden gems in the city together. We did a lot of things for each other too. He'd always watch reality TV shows with me, even though he hated them. And I went rollerblading with him, even though I wasn't very good at it.
Cheryl fell a lot.
But he'd always help me up. Giancarlo even took me to a JT concert.
I thought it was the Jay-Z concert. Okay, it was a really good concert. He did bring sexy back. I'll let him have it.
Then came the day when all our hard work finally paid off. I got accepted into law school at Windsor, and Giancarlo got into med school at Queen's. It was a really bittersweet moment, because we were excited for each other, but it meant we'd be pretty far away from each other too.
Yeah, Kingston is about 600 kilometers away from Windsor. That's 7 or 8 hours away. And that's if I'm speeding.
Which he'd never do.
Which I'd never do. Of course not.
But we made it work. We talked on the phone every single day. We'd always play you hang up first. No, you hang up first with each other.
I always won those.
I don't think anyone can win at hang up first.
But I did.
I think we both knew things were getting serious, and we started to talk about the rest of our lives together. I'd always wanted to go to New York City in the wintertime, so I was really excited that we were finally going together.
I took Cheryl to a restaurant that overlooked the Rockefeller Center. We sat by the window so that we could see the big Christmas tree and people skating.
I was just taking in the view. It was really magical, but I had no idea that he had something planned. And then he got down on one knee.
I was pretty nervous. I had this whole speech prepared in my head. The words were so eloquent, poetic, like a Hemingway novel. But as soon as the words came out of my mouth, it read more like a Twilight novel. It was a mess.
It was not a mess. It was beautiful. He said he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. Said he wanted us to grow old together and that he loved me. And then he asked me to marry him. Of course I said yes. We've been through so much together. I couldn't see myself with anybody else. It was the happiest day of my life.
I concur.